Greetings and welcome to SmartWatchTix.com. When you see a package like this coming in, you know it's got something special inside. Shrink wrapped, sealed, everything. We're going to get into this and talk about it, but first let me tell you it's coming from an interesting company, HiFuture. You may have heard of them if you've been in the audio field since about 2016. They've been doing the back-end stuff for a lot of interesting high-end products, and now they're moving into smartwatches. And this one, I was excited to get this one because of all the things that it can do. There it is. Let's talk briefly about it and I'll show you more. You get it directly from their store, the HiFuture store. I'll have the link in the show notes for you. It's an advanced screen, AMOLED display, all kinds of goodies. Not really out there in a product literature sense, but I did get an update initially of their specs. These are all the different specs go with it. You can see it's going to be 1.65 inch AMOLED with a 348 by 442 pixel display. On and on and on. Actually, rather than looking at it here, I'm going to bring back the box and show you this. Ultra wide color gamut, 98% Adobe RGB. That's because it's got the AMOLED screen. Super wide viewing angle. That means, you tilt it and you'll still be able to see it nice and clear from the side. We'll check that out, won't we? We've also got, I guess that's their QR code or their scanning code. It's Aerospace grade aluminum alloy the thing is made with. And on the bottom of the box are the specs in short, which includes all of the different measurements for it, its diameter, its size. It's a 3 atmosphere protected waterproof watch. You can definitely swim with it. Ultra thin body, 10 days of use, and I love this always on display clock. You can do that because it's AMOLED. Let's look at it. Here we go. Wow, okay, it pops right out of there. They've got a little cover on it showing you a simulated picture of the screen, but we can pull that off, revealing a nice deep black screen. The aluminum, this is kind of a gunmetal kind, but you saw it's in silver as well. We have a cover across the bottom back here. Let's remove that one. Covers the sensors on it. Wow. And look at that. Look at the reveal. Yep, you got your diodes for heart rate and blood oxygen. Removable TPU bands. A single button on the side. In addition, in the box, we've got little silica gel packet to keep it nice and dry, an empty box, and a box with stuff. And this stuff is the charging wire, which is the typical 2-pin, 4-pin, 2-pin connector that magnetically couples. You don't even see the place where the magnets are. They're under the case, but it couples here. Not quite strong enough to hold it, so make sure if you're putting it on the nightstand that you get it aligned really well, okay? It's a little bit light, maybe because those magnets are recessed in there, but you charge it that way, and then I believe we have a bit of a user's manual in here. And as you know, we look through the manual here page by page so you can freeze frame it to get some idea of what's in here. Sometimes there's things that I don't get to cover that you'll see in the manual. Precautions, there's a warranty card available. Okay, there's documentation and help in a QR code format, the specs, and you can follow them. All of these different QR codes can take you to any of their social media. So they're all set up already, which is great. Now, this side, we're going to be using the FitCloudPro app for tethering. That's a common one that we've used here. So we'll give you a quick look at that and an overview, how you set it up and pair it. Just basic introductory stuff that you need to get going. Press once, turn it on, shut it down. The charging connection in the back, and the replacing of the removable strap. Alrighty, as usual, we'll charge it up and turn it on for you. Oh, look what else I found in the box. Extra pins, so if you want to get a different strap, you can use these on the other strap. Nice, cute little addition. Let's check out this AMOLED screen. Long press on the side button. Wait for it. Wait for it. Vibrated. HiFuture. Beginning its boot up process, and I gotta tell you, the colors are really, really rich on this watch. Here's one of the stock faces. We'll show you all of them, and in the app, how you can add more in a moment. First, swipe down, you've got Do Not Disturb, Find Your Phone, and Overall Brightness. I'm at the lowest level. It only has 3. Let's come back in here. There's 2 and there's 3, so we go to the brightest, and it's pretty decent. You'll be able to easily see it outside. It's pretty bright even at level 1, which is why we're going to do the review here so it doesn't wash out the colors. Information shows you FutureFit Ultra, what you need when you're tethering it to your phone. Power off from right there. And overall settings. May as well go through them right now. Display, this is a fun one. This is where we get a lot of different choices. We got our watch faces, our always on clock display, brightness you just saw. Screen timeout can be changed from as low as 5 seconds all the way up to 25, which I'm going to, you know what? No, I'm going to leave it at 5 because I got to demo some stuff to you, that always on screen. So we'll make it the lowest. Now, I right now have it set so that when it times out or you press the button and it goes out, you can twist your wrist and it'll light it up, he says. There you go. We're going to change that now. Let's come in here to the settings and let's go down into display to always on clock digital. Okay? Now watch. After the 5 seconds, or if I turn it off, well, I can't turn it off. After the 5 seconds, it will automatically time out, switch to this display. Now, it's a little funky. I'm not too sure I'm happy with it. The numbers here kind of fade below the minutes. You should know what hour it is. That's 09. And then it switches, of course, and updates regularly here. It's a bit dim. You can see it outside if you kind of cover it, and that's your always on display. No, you can't change it to other digital displays, but you can change it to analog. There's no twist your wrist active on this when you're in this mode, and the only way out of it is to press the button. So you're going to get a lot of button exercise if you use the always on display mode. Just to show you, when you go into the analog clock, bail out of here, give it 5 seconds to turn off, you can have either a digital or analog display here. And now again, I don't know, I find it a little funky. The hour hand is there. If it's outside and it's bright, you're not going to be able to see what hour it is. But if you don't know what hour it is, maybe you should slow down a little bit. It will show you the minute hand, but there's no dots to let you know orientation at night, so you'd have to kind of feel for it to figure out which way is up. But that's your always on analog display. And of course, it's going to give you long life of power because it's dim and there's very few pixels lit. The reason you can do this is because the AMOLED screen has every pixel illuminated separately. Shut down, doesn't shut down the watch, it turns off the AOL clock. Okay, and so now when we leave here, we're back here. Now we can cycle it on and off from right here, but it goes completely black. But because every pixel is independently powered, if you have just a small display with not much in terms of illumination pixels, you can get good long battery life. Here's that first watch face that we're talking about. Oh yeah, we were in settings. Let's keep with the theme. Let's go in and take a look at the other watch faces. I could have long pressed to get there, but instead I just went through the system, which is fine. You have these analog kind, and it shows you don't have too much of a black border around here, and you've got a curved display, and you've got that nice broad angle, if I can keep it on, that you can see the display. So it's pretty decent overall in terms of a watch to look at that doesn't look like it's mostly all borders. I'm going to go in here and change the brightness up to 2, and I'm also going to change the screen time. Now that we've played with that always on screen, I'm going to make it longer so I'm not always having it time out on me. Back into the watch faces. Here's another one. And you see you have other things here, but they're not active buttons. I can't touch the heart rate and turn on the heart rate directly. Although, I'm touching it and I'm actually moving slightly. There's the power, 100%. It's actually moving this way because it's real sensitive. You have the date, the power, the heart rate, and oftentimes your step or calories burned. This time we'll just press and hold. And you got to get right on it. Give it a moment. There's that one that we just saw. Here's another analog one similar with the circle. Here's a digital one that I downloaded from the app, which is kind of fun. And I'll show you that in a moment. You got date and time and heart rate and step count and power. That's about everything with a cute little futuristic car there. So when you have it on, and look how thin this thing is, you've got that nice display. And again, I want to show you wow, it's flying off all by itself. Show you the view angle on this because they hype about that. And it is true. You get a really good view angle overall. Back into settings. That's about everything in display, right? Brightness and screen time. Oh, and you twist your wrist to see the time and how long it will stay lit when you twist your wrist. I'm going to go up to 6 seconds. Didn't notice that one. Okay. And screen time. So those are everything that have to do with display. When you go deeper, you've got vibration. I like it on strong. It's good. You can really feel it. Soft, yeah, a little bit. And of course, you can turn it off if you'd like to. Back out of here, we got the QR code. You can scan this to get the app that we're going to be tethering with, and I recommend you go to the Google Play Store to get to it. It's called FitCloudPro, and I'll have a link in the show notes that clicking on that will take you right to the Play Store. You can set different languages. We're on English. These are the ones that it supports. You've got German. This is the first time I've seen this, and I love it, because I don't know what some of the languages are in their language. For example, I wouldn't know that's Russian without seeing it say it's Russian underneath it. You got Spanish and Portuguese and French, Arabic, there you go, cool. Italian, Czech, Greek is in here. Hey guys, Hebrew. I get calls a lot, or you guys comment a lot on whether it supports Hebrew, and it does. Wow, big time out on that. Polish, Vietnamese, Romania, and traditional Chinese, but not simplified, which is very interesting, I think. Okay, languages and overall system, where you got the system info we showed you, shut down, and you can reset the watch completely. And so far now, all we've done is look at this top panel. Yeah, we're moving right along. Go up this way, you got messages, if there are any pushed from your phone. I also like that you're seeing the time on any of these displays, just in case you want to see them. Go to the right, you're getting into all of these different, we don't want to go into all of them yet, all of the different apps. That's your app drawer. Go to this side and you get your step count information. You get your heart rate. It immediately switches on with green diodes. You've got last night's sleep time, and it doesn't show you any more other than light, deep, and total. And then you've got weather in whatever city you want to set in centigrade or Fahrenheit. This is Shenzhen, China right now, and I don't have any more to show you on that either. And that's the last one. Tap back, or just hit the button to come back, and now we can go through the app drawer. Now, it's not really at the top. The top is up here. It starts in at workouts. Activity data, that's where it starts. Activity data is your overall step count. Workouts are the different things you can do. Running, walking, climbing. There's quite a few in here. It's got swimming because this thing is seriously waterproof. Elliptical, yoga, basketball, free training. Any of these you can come into and start a workout, and when you're finished, you have workout records, and they will appear here, and then you can see your data on the watch as well as what it'll look like transferred over to the phone app. Then you get into your heart rate, blood oxygen, and blood pressure. No, this one doesn't do blood pressure, but does heart rate and blood oxygen. We'll put it on for that in a minute. Feminine health is where in the app you can set up cycle length and duration and all kinds of stuff, including the start day, and this will tell you where you are in your period. And you'll see in the app it's got a pretty robust calendar on that as well. Breath training is where you kind of breathe in and breathe out for a minute or more, and it's a simple thing. It just vibrated. You breathe in, and it vibrated again, and you breathe out. So you can close your eyes and relax and just wait on the vibration to go when you're breathing, and that can trigger you, or you can look at it and see as well. Yeah, you can cheat and check on the time if you only have 30 seconds of the full minute to give to it, and it'll go through its cycle, and then it'll finish up, and we can check and get out of that. But it's nice that that's in here as well. The messages you saw, sleep time you saw, you've got music that you can play as a remote player from the watch. The music will play on the phone. You can change the volume here, which is nice. That adjusts the volume on the phone. Okay, so you can scoot forward and back. Basic music player. There's your Find Your Phone. You've got an alarm clock settings, of course, on here. You've got a basic stopwatch that does not run in the background, and countdown timers that you can set as well, and it'll vibrate when that's done. Here's the more elaborate weather. Oh, no, it doesn't show you anymore. I think I'm thinking of a different watch that would give you a couple of weeks of forecast. Well, it gives you 3 days of forecast, and the current temperature and its condition is sunny in Shenzhen right now. And then, of course, overall settings. And that's everything here. We wanted to come back up and go into heart rate. I put this thing on now, really, so you can see how it's working. Just slide into the buckle, tie it down, and there we go. It's using the green diode technology to get a basic heart rate. It'll come up with a number, then it cycles it around for a little bit, and finally it'll vibrate, and that's the number that will stick. And that number, of course, is what you'll see on the watch face if you have your watch face that shows the heart rate on it. It's not going to be continuous heart rate on the watch face. Clear about that. It's going to be your last reading. So if you're thinking you're going to be jogging and trying to get into a zone or something, it's not going to happen. It vibrated, the animation stopped, and it went black. So it's done on that one. That's there. And then the other one was not here, remember? You have to go to the app drawer to get to the blood oxygen. This is one of the few watches I've seen, there it starts automatically, that has given me 100%. Most of the time 99 is the highest I can get, but this one is given me 100 occasionally. It jumps around a bit as it settles in, and I should be staying still and not talking. By the way, it's using the red diode advanced technology on it, and I just messed up the reading, but you get the idea. Usually between 95 and 100%. Again, you got the time of day shown on this display as well. And I think we've covered everything here, so let's switch over to the app. Again, we're looking at FitCloudPro from the Google Play Store. Hit open. It's going to sync whatever data is waiting. I've got some step data from today and some other info to show you. We'll wait for it to finish. It's done. Sync is completed. Then I can go in here and show you the step count. I wore it last night, and at 3 a.m. I went to the restroom and back. I think I happened again early in the morning, so it's counting everything, guys. Here I go. It shows you an actual chart on the side, which is great. Got almost 500 steps in that 7 o'clock hour. Tracks it hour by hour and gives you your overall totals. And if you set any goals, they'll show up here. You've got today, you've got weekly, you got monthly, and you can send all that data out if you want to as well. Women's health now. Here's that advanced calculator that you set everything up in. And guys, just scoot ahead. You don't need to know all this, I guess, unless you want to. And it tells you, your basic information and where you are today in that process. And you saw it reports that back onto the watch as well. Okay, last night's sleep time. It's giving you charts, and you can call up from 1:16 to 3:50 a.m. I was in light sleep. I've got wake time here, I think. 4:48 to 5 o'clock and so forth. Here are the summaries. So you've got individual tabs that you can check at any particular time, when you went to bed, when you woke up, and your totals for daily, weekly, and monthly. And again, you can send that out. So it's really well thought out in terms of that. Here's heart rate. There's our current reading. Here are the different days, and this is today. And boom, it brings up a chart, shows you all of the different readings at the particular time, and you can slide along that. See, I got 152 at 8:50 this morning. My guess is that was an abnormal reading for some reason. It didn't throw it out. It kept it. But it's doing readings like every 10 minutes or so. See that? And shows you your overall range and whatnot. And of course, if I go back the previous day, here's where I took the watch off, so it didn't record anything, but it did maintain a line from the last reading to the next reading for continuity, as opposed to dropping to zero, because you, of course, don't drop to zero. You're still wearing it. It just doesn't know what the rate is. And here's the day before that. So you've got the sequences of heart rate. You've got your last measurement result right there. I don't have a way to trigger an automatic reading, unfortunately, from the app. You have to initiate that separately on the device itself. And here's blood oxygen, and you really only get readings on here when you actually take them, and it records them. And I don't have very many. Its last result is basically the last thing that I've got. So not really pleased with how it's handling blood oxygen. There are better, but if you just want a casual, occasional reading of your blood oxygen, this will do it for you. Those are all the tabs. That's all it tracks. You got device over here where you can set up your sedentary reminders, drink reminders, weather reports in the area you want. Here's the elevated heart rate measurement. Twist the wrist to see the time. Automatic health monitor is enabled, and it'll do that between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. You can set those times as well. So you've got a lot of flexibility on that, 12, 24-hour, left or right-handed wearing, and the dial thing. Where is it? The dial library. Show you this as the last section on this part. These are a variety of the different dials that you can download to augment what you've already got. That's the one I put on, but check it out. You've got lots of colorful dials available to you. Lots of digital, analog, whatever you'd like on the watch. And because it's AMOLED, you take something like that, put that on there. You could probably set the timeout to be the maximum, the twist your wrist to stay on as long as possible, whatever you like. That's very low energy usage. Something like that's going to run your battery down real quick. That's because every pixel is lit up separately, as opposed to most watches that have a light behind it. That light's always going to be on, even if the screen is completely black with just a little hand or something. It's going to take the same amount of energy to light up that one. Whoops, I didn't want to start it, as it would that one. But AMOLED is different. Once you download these, they're stored over here in My Dial, so it makes it faster to change them out if you want to, without having to be connected to the internet to download them from the source. And finally, mine, you can set up an account. This one I just went in without registering, but you can log in and register. You can tie this to Google Fit, set your goals. Here's your overall units in metric or imperial across the board. There's the women's health, where you can do pregnancy periods and preparation and all kinds of things, ladies. This is a really nice ladies' watch alternative to the expensive Apple Watch. Highly recommend it for the women. We Run is also available, and then overall settings in here. You can do the account management, run it in the background, sets up the app, or guides you to do that, so you don't have to have the app open, and it'll still be able to function in the background, send you push notifications, everything else. Okay, that's it. It's a really nice little watch. It's coming from a company that's been in high tech for a while, HiFuture. And they've been in audio and other things, and they're now migrating into the smartwatch arena. See, they have earbuds and smart glasses and speakers and whatnot. In smartwatches, this is a really nice AMOLED screen watch, the FutureFit Ultra. There's their pricing. If I got a coupon for you, I'll have that in the show notes, and of course a link that can take you over there to pick it up. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.